What's up, my people? In this video, we're going to be doing the addition and subtraction of integers. Most students have the most difficulty with this section, so I'm going to take a little time and we're going to talk about a few things. Okay, so first things first, in my last video, if you watched the one with multiplication and division, I did something that looks like this. Same sign, and I had a plus sign like this. And I said different sign. And guess what? That same rule still applies over here. Plus, minus. But this time, this sign, it's not what the final answer is going to be. It's going to tell us what to do. So if we get up there and we see the same signs, we're going to end up adding. And if they're different signs, we're going to end up subtracting the two. And then we'll go into what that looks like a little bit later. Okay. And also, we never want double signs. Sometimes we'll see double sign where we'll see this. Oops, I don't want to use that. Where we'll see like this next to this. No good. We don't want that. We need to combine those. Or we see this. That's also no good. No bueno, all of that. So we don't want double signs anywhere. So when we get up there, we're going to address those double signs, okay? All right. So let's jump right into this video so we can talk about how to look at each one of these. And the first two happen to have double signs, okay? Double signs is no good. So when you have a negative, let's go back to our rule. Negative times a negative is a positive. So what's going to happen here is that those two negatives are going to merge and make a positive. So that ends up being 5 plus 7. And the answer is 12. Again, because negative times a negative, let's convert those, and it ends up being a positive, okay? Now, we have double signs again on this side, but this time we have a negative and a positive. And remember, when the signs are different, that's going to end up being a negative, okay? So I'm going to rewrite this as 5. Oops, that is not a 5. Rewrite this as 5 minus 3. And ta-da, that's 2. Okay, so now let's look at the next couple of questions. I'm going to point out a few things, okay? When you look at integers and, you know, teachers use the keep, change, and all this other stuff, that is not exactly my preference. What I want you to do is literally look at the numbers and, okay, I see, and every time I see a negative, let's go ahead and let me use green. There's a negative there. And there's a negative there. So imagine I have 4 negatives sitting over here in this bucket. Imagine I have 4 negatives sitting in this bucket, okay? And I have, let's go ahead and do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I ended up with 5 more negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You'll see that I have 9 negatives in the bucket. That is negative 9. So if you see them as individual things, then it'll all make sense, okay? So let's do the next one. Let's do this next one. Let's look at what we have here. We have, let's see, we have a negative 6. So we got 6 negatives, and then we have another 5 negatives. What does that mean we have? If I have 6 negatives in my bucket, one, two, three, four, five, 6, and then I have 5 more negatives in my bucket. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have a total of 11 negatives. Okay? Let's look at the next one. All right, next one. Here we go. Let's look at what we have. Oh, now we have something that's different signs. I have negative 5 negatives, and I have 5 positives. Now let's draw this bucket. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's pretend that these negatives and positives don't necessarily get along. Or let's pretend that this is a soccer or basketball. What's going to end up happening is this guy is going to take this guy or guard this guy on the basketball court. This guy's going to guard this one. This one's going to guard this one. That one's going to guard that one. And that one's going to guard that one. And the question is, how many are left? And the answer would be 0. There are no people left open. So it's not neither negative nor positive. Okay? So let's look at what we got. Up, double signs. That double signs means negative. So I got -1 and I have a -2. What does that mean we have? We have a negative here and a negative here. They're all negative. So these 2 negatives plus this other 1 negative all in the same bucket is 3 negatives. Okay? Next one. Let's do number 7. Okay, again, we're playing basketball. You know, me and my friends are playing basketball, and here's the basketball court. These 2 people are on team negative, and these 3 people are on team positive. Is that fair that I got these 3 on team, these 2 on team negative, and then I got these 2, these 3, sorry, on team positive? Well, if you look at what's going to happen, this one will guard this one. This one will guard this one. How many do I have left? Remember, you see this guy right here on team positive? He's going to be the only one. So I'm going to have 1 person or 1 positive left over. So how you look at these is when the signs are different, you subtract and keep the sign of the larger number. When the signs are the same, you add. So up, double signs, what is negative and a negative? What does that convert to? A big old positive. 2 plus 7 equals 9. Okay? So remember, same sign, you add, different sign, you subtract. So let's just do another quick one. Let's go skip down here where I got some space. So let's say I had 5 minus 8. Well, this one is, oops. Let's erase that. Just kidding. I was trying to do the highlighter. This one is negative. This one is positive. Okay? So we're going to pretend and we're going to keep going. So what's going to happen is, what are my 2 numbers? I have 5 and I have an 8. I'm going to subtract the 2. So a 5 from 8 is going to be 3. But which number is larger? The 8 is larger. So because the 8 is larger, that sign automatically wins. That's going to go there. Okay, let's do one more. What if I had 7 minus 12? What do you think that's going to be? What do you think? Okay, let's do this. Up, I have negative. And then I have this positive. So the signs are different. That means I'm going to have to subtract the 2. And when I subtract the 2, I get 12 minus 7 is 5. But because the 12 is the biggest, that sign wins. Okay, let's do another one on this side. What if I had negative 5 plus 8? What if I did something like that? I see one of them is negative, one of them is positive. So I'm going to, okay, you're on the negative side. You're on the positive side. My colors are different, which means my signs are different. And when your signs are different, what do? You subtract. So I have to subtract. When the signs are different, you have to subtract. So 5 from 8 is 3. But because the 8 is bigger, that sign comes along. So my answer is actually positive 3 on this one. Man, what if I flipped it to, what if I flip this? Negative 7 plus 12. Okay. Again, let's look at the signs. Are my signs the same? Or are they different? Well, it looks like they're different. So I'm going to go ahead and my negatives are going to be green and my positives are pink on this one. Oh, they're different. So when they're different, I have to subtract the 2. And then 7 take away 12, or 12 take away 7 rather, is 5. But because the 12 is the bigger number, that sign wins. So that sign gets to stay. Okay? Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, see me in class. Feel free to rewind this video and watch it again. Have a good one.